When you go to the polls on November 5th or in early voting, you have the chance to vote not just for president. South Carolina voters will also choose their state, House, and Senate members. These members of our legislature make important decisions about things such as the state budget, policies on education, healthcare, public safety, the judicial system, and much more. I'm Katie Smith with Greater Good Greenville, and on this episode of Simple Civics Greenville County, we feature an interview with one of your candidates for South Carolina House District 28, Democrat Fritz Weibel. We reached out to Republican candidate Chris Huff with an invitation, but he declined to participate. District 28 covers Conestee and most of Southern Greenville County with the exception of the lowermost southwest corner. Here's how the interviews worked. All candidates received the same question at the time of their invitation to join us, and they were given 10 minutes for their interview. Candidates were allowed to bring along a companion, such as a campaign manager, family member, or friend, and to record our session themselves. There were no edits made to the interview. We've put links to the participating candidates' preferred internet presence on the episode page. Here's Democrat Fritz Weibel. I'm pleased to be joined by Fritz Weibel, who is running for South Carolina House District 28 as a Democrat. Thanks so much for joining us today, Fritz.
My pleasure.
Tell us about yourself and why you're running for office.
Well, I was raised in the Golden Strip. I was the first president of the student body at the New Malden High School back in 1973. And I've been in politics since I was 18 years old. And my political resume is 2 sheets long, all the candidates I've helped, the campaigns I've been in. So I've got extensive experience. Also, I've been an editorialist for over 45 years. Now, I've been published in every major newspaper in South Carolina and a few times on the national level. And but my specialty is I don't mess with Big Brother. My specialty is Little Brother, the state, the county. This is what's so close to us. This is where you get hit the hardest, is at that local level. And as I'm sitting here now, Greenville County's raised every tax in the book, which has basically killed the homestead exemption. It's only $45,000. Average home in the district is worth over $440,000. Okay, my worry is that Greenville County is out of ways to get revenue. The only other thing they're going to be able to do is reappraise property. And when they do that, and you take somebody, it's been over 10 years since they've done this, so you're going to have houses bought 10 years ago, but when they get appraised for the county now on the new home value, it's just going the homestead exemption to be nothing. It's only $45,000. I want to move it to $90,000. It can be phased in, but that's going to have to happen. If not, when they reappraise land, you're going to have open rebellion in this county. The other reason I'm running is this. Duke Power has unfettered influence and power in this state. They just brought Progress Electricity. They brought Florida Power, and they came to us for a rate increase. Now, in 2018 was the last time they had one. And Judge Irvin was the chairman. I brought up the fact that they were not using the cost of living adjustments for veterans, disabled veterans, disabled people on Social Security. So the homestead exemption, it's not so much about young people in affordable housing. What I'm talking about is people that's paid for their house their whole life, and it's getting to the point where they can't stay in it because it's costing them so much money. So you got to have a hedge against that high taxation for those that really can't stand it. So my idea is to increase the homestead exemption. It has not been done in 20 years. It's got to catch up. If it doesn't, mark my word, when they reappraise land in Greenville County, it's not going to be good. It's really not going to. And they've raised every tax that they could. Sales penny for roads, 7 mil increase, and the vehicle fee. Okay, when they did the vehicle fee, they did away with the permanent disabled veteran tag because as a disabled veteran, I'm exempt from property tax, but not that vehicle fee. And I had to change the whole system for Greenville County just to get that vehicle fee. So it's just things out of control. These are all non-deductible taxes, sales taxes, all that's just wrong because the system works like this. As your local taxes go up, by deduction, your federal tax comes down. When they reduced the income tax by 1 point, they gave away $800 million in write-offs for the people in South Carolina. What that means is, as you lose your deductibility at the state level, you have to take that income and put it back into your net income. All of a sudden, that tax cut at South Carolina became a tax increase under the federal tax code. So by cutting the state income tax by 1 point, okay, it cost the people in the state $800 million. And then, of course, that brings us around to where that $1.5 billion, we don't know where it came from. So these are the things, these are the reason I'm running. People need a choice, number one. They need somebody who knows what they're doing. And the only thing I can tell you is this. Duke Power's on the mark. The things they've done, electric vehicles, solar. They even want to put, the last one I got, and this is so ridiculous. Duke Power wants to pay you, say you got a standby generator and a battery pack in your garage. They want to pay you $6.50 a month to be able to come in your garage, in your battery pack, and commandeer it for 48 hours at a time. Without saying how often can they do it, when they going to do it. It's just wrong. And they just got too much power. What they found out was it was easier to go down to that legislature and peddle that influence as opposed to doing things before the commission for the people to come forward. So on April 8th, when they came for the rate increase, I was there with the cost of living adjustment argument, which was set precedent in 2018. Now, they wanted 14% straight up. And in 2026, they want 6.7%. Do the math. It's 21% increase. Well, when I got through and the decision came out, the commissioner, Madam Chairman, took my argument, and the first part of it's only going to be 7%. So I killed half of that. Then the 2026 amount, which would be like 6% plus, that's been chopped back to 3%. So the chairwoman and the commission accepted that cost of living precedent. And I have now saved the people in my district and 7 counties in the upstate about 11% on their power bill. Do the math. That's the only thing I tell people, do the math. Now in 2018, when the rate increase was limited to 4% after my argument. Okay, that set the precedent. They wanted 14% back then, but they only got 4% after I presented the cost of living adjustment argument. So from 2018 to this month, I've saved everybody in the district and 7 counties in the upstate over 9% on their power bill since 2018. Do the math. Who's the man who's done for the people in the district and knows what he's doing? He knows how to get it done. I've studied state government for 50 years. I've written on it. I'm renowned in it. That's why I'm in this, because it's time for play is over with. There's so much money floating around in South Carolina, and it's just getting out of hand. 2 record budgets in a row, and I believe they're both unsustainable, and the day's going to come when the speaker and the governor come to grips with what they've done.
Thank you. What do you believe are the biggest issues facing your constituents, and what would you do about them if elected?
First of all, Duke Power is important to everybody in the district, and I've spent my life fighting them tooth and nail Been doing it a long time. Have no fear of them. Back in the pandemic, Henry Maestro put everything back up to be public. Okay, there was a here and there concerning the solar tariff, which was Duke's commandeering of the solar installers, the solar companies, and they just took that over. If you think you're going to put solar panels on your house and you're going to put solar and sell power to Duke Power, it's not going to happen. Don't do it. It's not going to happen. They got the blank check to 2026, and believe me, they're doing everything they can to cradle to the grave us, basically. They're a publicly traded company, but they got a line into the legislature in our pocket. Wait a minute. They don't want to accept the cost of doing business. They think we have to pay for everything they do. So that's big. Also, education. I'm for 10% teacher raise, 10% teacher raise, full funding for the ABC daycare program, more money for teachers in the classroom, and the pension fund is $26 billion in the red.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your willingness to serve the people of South Carolina.
Thank you for having me. I think this is a wonderful format, and it's been great. I enjoy this.
Simple Civics Greenville County is a project of Greater Good Greenville. Greater Good Greenville was catalyzed by the merger of the Nonprofit Alliance and the Greenville Partnership for Philanthropy. You can learn more on our website at greatergoodgreenville.org.